Hey, what's going on? Sir Black97 here, back for another pack break. Today we're opening up some packs and cards sent in by BlackwingExodus. He was really kind enough to help out, getting us a lot of good cards and deals for my collection, as well as for a couple decks I'm working on, including the Rockets one you probably saw yesterday that was posted. Getting a couple copies of Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, so I've been very excited and very just eager checking my mail for these cards to come in. So without further ado, let's break into the rest of the collection we've got. So starting off, we have our 3 copies of Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. Really nice for just sort of any link counter decks, dragon decks. They're also a dark attribute, so they work well with Rockets and Levineer. So obviously, putting those into my Rocket deck will be very rewarding. Next up, we have a copy of Meteor's Drytron. Really good price on this that I got. Really helpful as well. Drytrons is one of the big decks that I'm building right now, so getting a couple of copies of this is very handy. And to kind of help these light and dark decks that I'm building, I got 2 copies of Chaos Dragon Levineer. This is the alt art for it. Really nice, obviously, for the Dream Mirror decks I'm building, for the Drytrons and Rockets as well. Getting a couple of those cards will be really nice and really helpful with just sort of play extensions and just getting rid of any useless cards in the graveyard. Next up, we have a couple of sort of interesting throwback cards. We have a couple of Time Lords. We have Sandayon and Michian. Michian being my favorite out of all the Time Lords, but they're really cool, interesting fairy cards. Definitely a fun little deck and archetype to work around with, but I only had the green wind attribute this time, I believe, for the longest time. So getting a couple extra ones is really rewarding and fun. Next up, shout out to Laystat YuGiOh, because he'll enjoy this one. Dark Lord Morningstar. Really like the prismatic bleed on this one. Really nice Dark Lord card to go into. Next up, we have 2 copies of Achichi at Ignister. Really nice for the at Ignister archetype. Having a couple copies of those. Plus the secret rare bleed on them is really nice. Next up, we have 2 copies of Sky Striker Ray. Again, really great price on these. BlackwingExodus was selling them for really cheap, so I was like, man, can't say no to that. Next up is my personal favorite out of the whole break, just because of how nice it is. The Dynatherium, I believe. Really nice rank 4 and synchro extender. Really just an overall really nice card, and just how shiny and prismatic it is, it just can't be beat. Next up, we have a copy of Elemental Hero Stratos, integral to pretty much every hero build. Really nice card. Definitely wanted to pick up a couple copies, as well as Elemental Hero Blazeman, one of my favorite main deck Elemental Heroes as well. Pretty much like all the other cards, really nice bleed onto there, really nice secret rare. There's also, Blackwing was kind enough to send some Zacian card sleeves. I don't know if he knows I'm a huge fan of Zacian or not, but definitely appreciate the extra treasures he sent my way. So that'll do it for today's episode. Huge shout out again to BlackwingExodus. He gave us a lot of great cards. Definitely will be purchasing and supporting him in the future. So give him a shout out and give him some support when you can. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.